dear, oh dear. It looks like our friend Goofy has a problem. Usually what he does when he has a problem is to call up one of his pals. Look, he's doing it now.
This is Jiminy Cricket.
Howdy, Jiminy. This is Goofy, and I got a problem.
Ah, yes, Goofy's explaining that he's not sure what to do or where to go on his vacation this year. He's certainly come to the right cricket. Jiminy is known as Jiminy Cricket P.S., Problem Solver. But this time, Jiminy's going to show Goofy the basic steps to solve any kind of problem. The first step is identify the problem. Here's one kind of problem, a math problem in this case, like adding two numbers. Here's another kind of problem, dealing with somebody who's angry at you. And here's another, a sort of geography problem, reaching something that's out of reach. But back to Goofy's problem, figuring out the best way to spend his vacation this year. Let's see what Jiminy advises him to do.
Once you know what the problem is, the next step is to gather information. Get all the facts.
Gosh, what do I need to find out?
Well, the first thing you want to find out is how much money you have and how much you want to spend on your vacation. You also have to know how much time you have and what kind of weather you like best, hot or cold. What sorts of vacations have you enjoyed most in the past? All things you can ask yourself.
Gosh, I love warm weather, and one of my favorite vacations was my trip to Hawaii. I thought I'd do some searching. Took me a while to get the hang of it, though. One year, I had 2 weeks to spend on my vacation, so I went fishing. Another time, Mickey hadn't saved enough money for a big trip, so he did some bird watching. I guess this bird didn't want to be watched. Anyway, I'd like to find out about other ideas for vacation.
Then we'll keep digging for more information. Now you've already used one major source of information, yourself. Another important source of information is the media. That means books, magazines, television, radio, the movies, and so forth. When you're trying to solve a problem, use these resources to get more information. For example, if your problem is trying to decide where to go on a vacation, you can read books about different states or different countries. And look through travel magazines. And you can write away for vacation brochures to a state's Chamber of Commerce or the embassy of a foreign country. Or you can watch travel shows on TV. Sometimes your local library or art museum will even show special travel films.
Wow, now I have lots of good ideas. Gosh, I think I'll check out some travel books. I can learn all about places I can't even pronounce. And I could write a letter to the Chamber of Commerce in Hawaii. I'll see if the surf's still up on my favorite beach.
There's a great show on TV tonight about going to a dude ranch out west. You might make a great cowboy.
Gee, thanks, partner.
And don't forget that another great way to get information is to ask other people, experts, or even your friends.
I could find a travel agency, or maybe I'll go into this boat store and ask them about taking a cruise or renting a boat. Or, hey, I could find out how my buddies have spent their vacations.
That's right. For example, I know that our pal Mickey Mouse would tell you he sometimes likes to play golf on his vacations, even though he's not the world's best golfer. On the other hand, Chip and Dale would tell you that they like to use their vacation time to practice their music. Of course, sometimes they do get a bit competitive. And as for our friend Donald Duck, well, he would tell you about the summer he went camping with the boys. He learned all about nature the hard way. Now, as for Huey, Dewey, and Louie, one time they spent their whole vacation working on their car. But even when they thought they had finally got it working, it didn't run.
Gosh, my friends sure could give me some good ideas.
Right. In some cases, like math problems, there's only one right answer. In other cases, like yours, it's a matter of which solution you like the best after you've gathered your information. So the next step is to pick the solution that's best for you based on the information you've gotten.
Well, Goofy gathered his information by asking friends about their vacations, reading books, writing away for information, watching travel shows on TV, and then he thought some more, and he finally picked a solution he thought would work.
Gosh, I had the best time in Hawaii, and I want to go back. But I really want to be with my friends. So this year, I'm going to see if they'll come along. Think of all the fun we'd have. I bet Mickey and Minnie and Pluto would have a ball. And Donald would have a real hot time, too.
Of course, to make his solution work, Goofy had to check with his friends. He found out that Donald Duck didn't have quite enough money for a trip to Hawaii. And when he called Mickey, he discovered that Mickey had already planned to go on a trip with his trailer. At first, Goofy was disappointed and confused, but then he had a brainstorm. Goofy suggested to Mickey and Donald that they all take a vacation in the trailer together. Goofy was so excited and happy that he called Jiminy right away.
You see, Goofy, you've already learned the final rule of problem solving. If your first solution doesn't work, be creative. Try another one.
And that's exactly what Goofy did. And he had a terrific time. So the next time you have a problem, call Jiminy Cricket Problem Solver. Or better yet, use the steps you've learned from Jiminy and Goofy to solve your problem yourself. We promise it'll be an uplifting experience.